Welcome back. In my previous videos, I have shown you how to create an artist and we went over the basic calendar functionality. Next, I'm going to show you customers. You will almost never be creating customers from this page. Mostly you will just be creating an appointment and therefore selecting an existing customer or creating a new one. But let's go over this. So we have a separate video about creating customers and what every field is necessary for. So if you go to customers in your menu and now you click on plus customer. Voila, step one, you always have to add an email address. An email address is mandatory. You cannot save without an email address. This is for most new users, the best new habits that you can create with Tattugenda. Always get the email of your customers because Tattugenda sends out a lot of automated emails to your customer's mailbox. And if those emails wouldn't be there, then the whole use of Tattugenda wouldn't make sense. You need your customer's email, period. So I'm going to give an example. I will write my own email. Voila. If this customer would exist already, the system would tell you immediately, but it's not. This is the first customer of our new demo account. So first name is Sandy. Voila. Last name Parker. Phone, you can leave it empty, but you can fill it out if you feel that's important. I think it's always important to ask your customers' phone numbers. Why? If a no-show happens and you want to fix that no-show place, you want to have the phone number of your customers to inform them. Also, if your artist gets sick or anything happens and you have to reschedule, you need the phone number of a customer. So let's add I'm going to just add dummy data, right? This is a demo account. I'm not filling out real phone numbers. Date of birth, you could ask it your customer, but I wouldn't. It's too much work. Instagram name, you can ask it, but it's too much work. If your customer fills out his consent form before the first appointment, the consent form asks for the date of birth and the Instagram username also. So this data gets filled out automatically later on by the customer itself. And then this is a very interesting part. The whole part about customer wants to be contacted when an earlier date becomes available because of this whole section is also something you don't have to ask and fill out. You don't have to do any work for this, but Tattugenda will take care of it. How? If your customer receives an automated email where they are asked to pay a deposit, if your customer clicks the button to pay a deposit, they land on a screen in between, so a screen before the payment page, where the system asks them, hey, I see you have an appointment, you are gonna pay a deposit soon, but just in case, if a no-show happens or a cancellation happens, do you want us to call you so you can take this earlier spot? Sometimes the customer indicates like, yes, please let me know if something happens. And then there's a difference between no-show and cancellation. A no-show is somebody's not showing up. If you want another customer to fill out the no-show place, they will need to be able to jump in their car and drive to your studio immediately. It very much depends on the job, I think, of your customer. And then the second option is a cancellation, and a cancellation is like something that happens at least one day ahead. And this is mostly customers who are like, yes, I can take the spot, but I need to know one day ahead minimum so I can notify my boss that I can take a day off. So there's a difference in those two. And then the system also asks your customer, after they indicated they want to be contacted on no-shows or cancellations, the system asks them, and how available are you? And then sometimes the customer writes like, I'm available every Tuesday, or I'm available every weekday after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or things like that. So this data will be filled out by your customer because the system asked for it. You don't have to do it. Then you have address details. I never keep address details of my customers. I think it only makes you more vulnerable because you are keeping data of your customers. You shouldn't, I don't think it's necessary, but if you like to send postcards or real mail advertisement or something like that, you want to have their address. Anyway, it's here if you want to use it. The language of your customer will be default set to the language of your studio, but you have the option to override it. Like every customer will be English here because the demo account is set up in American English. But if you decide my customer speaks another language, you could select another language. For now, it only shows American English. Later, I will show you where you can add supported languages for your studio. Allergic to latex, you don't have to fill it out. The customer fills it out on their consent form. And then remarks is just a free input field, whatever you like to know about your customer. This is a little marketing drop down. How did you get to know us? It's a list of possible ways that the customer gets to know you. And you can also ask for this information through the consent form. Now, also on the website, if they book a consultation with you, if you have set up the consultation booking on your website, this is also asked to the customer. So all this data will be coming in automatically. So long story short, you just fill in email, first name, last name, and phone number. If we now go to next, you can start creating tattoo projects for this customer. We are not going to do it in this video. So this was just about creating your customer. It is now saved. So if I go back, here you see my first customer. If I unfold it, there are no projects to show. We did not make any booking for this customer. So the total spent is also still 0. All right.